Welcome, everyone. This isn't just another talk about motivation. This is an invitation to profoundly reprogram your mind, to fundamentally shift your thinking, calibrate your actions, and ultimately live as an undeniable winner. Because here's the unvarnished truth. Most individuals aren't losing due to a lack of innate talent. They're failing because they simply haven't cultivated the formidable mindset required to win. This world, in its brutal honesty, doesn't inherently reward the most intellectually brilliant. It reserves its greatest accolades for the most disciplined, the most utterly obsessed, and the most mentally unshakable among us. So, in this transformative journey, I'm not merely offering platitudes or fleeting feel-good ideas. I am delivering 10 unbreakable lessons, life-saving truths that every single winner on this planet embodies and lives by. These aren't just arbitrary pronouncements. These 11 profound lessons are meticulously backed by rigorous scientific research, forged in the crucible of elite psychology, and lived day in and day out by the most successful, resilient, and utterly unbreakable individuals humanity has ever known. And I'm making you a solemn promise right now. If you commit to truly listening to every single second of this video, if you apply these lessons with the unwavering conviction that your very life depends on it, then your existence, as you know it, will never, ever be the same again. This isn't merely a video. It's a comprehensive manual for achieving undisputed mental dominance. It's specifically crafted for those who are utterly exhausted from passively watching others claim victory and are finally ready to step into their own power, ready to become truly unstoppable. This video isn't just a guide to success. It will dynamically build your winning mindset and simultaneously sharpen your English proficiency. Every single word has been carefully chosen to train your brain to think like a winner, and every second dedicated here will measurably improve your listening comprehension and expand your vocabulary. So, do yourself a profound favor. Subscribe now, not just to incrementally grow, but to dramatically rise. Let's begin. Lesson 1. Master your mind before it destroys you. If you fail to seize command of your mind, rest assured, your mind will inexorably seize command of you. And allow me to tell you a truth that almost no one dares to articulate out loud. Your brain is not your friend by default. It's not inherently aligned with your highest aspirations. By its very nature, your brain is predisposed to laziness, gripped by fear, deeply addicted to comfort, and utterly obsessed with mere survival, not with achieving greatness. It was fundamentally built to protect you from perceived risks, not to audaciously push you toward groundbreaking success. Think about it. When you yearn to wake up at the break of dawn to chase a dream, your mind whispers, just 5 more minutes sleep. When you resolve to hit the gym and sculpt your body, your mind cunningly suggests, not today, you're tired, tomorrow will be better. When you feel the urge to speak up, to voice an idea, or stand your ground, your mind floods you with doubt. What if they judge you? What if you sound foolish? When you contemplate a drastic, life-altering change, your mind barrages you with fear. What if you fail? What if you lose everything? That's because, in its untamed state, the human mind functions as a sophisticated defense machine, not an intrepid growth engine. It's constantly scanning for threats, real or imagined, and its primary directive is to keep you safe, comfortable, and within the familiar confines of your current existence. The very first, foundational lesson of every true winner is not how to work harder, not how to amass wealth, and certainly not how to win trophies. It is unequivocally how to take that same cunning brain, the one that ruthlessly sabotages you every single morning, and systematically reprogram it to obey you. Because until your mind operates under your command, until it becomes your loyal servant rather than your capricious master, you will never truly win. This profound mastery means you refuse to permit fleeting thoughts or temporary emotions to dictate your actions. You decide, not your passing feelings, not your paralyzing fear, not your gnawing doubt. Mastering your mind means you still feel the cold grip of fear, but you move forward anyway. You still hear the seductive siren song of laziness, but you show up and do the work anyway. You still feel utterly exhausted, overwhelmed, and deeply insecure, but you consciously choose consistent progress over elusive perfection. Winners are not emotionless automatons. They are simply individuals who have honed the extraordinary ability to make the right decision while simultaneously experiencing the wrong emotion. That, my friends, is the decisive mental difference between those who merely dream and those who utterly dominate. Let me offer you one of the most powerful, real-life examples of this principle. When the elite Delta Force soldiers, arguably the most formidable warriors on Earth, undergo their grueling training, they are rigorously taught what's known as the 40% rule. This rule posits that when your mind emphatically declares, you're done, you've hit your absolute limit, you have, in reality, only expended approximately 40% of your actual capacity. This means that when your body is screaming in protest, when your mind is desperately begging you to cease, when every single thought is an agonizing plea of, I can't take this anymore, you still possess a staggering 60% left in your psychological and physical tank. That's not mere motivation. That's applied science. That's profound mental reprogramming. That's the undeniable winner's mindset. When most people surrender and quit, winners, armed with this knowledge, are just beginning to tap into their true reserves. They have painstakingly learned to override their mind's premature emergency signals. They implicitly say, thank you for the warning, brain, but we are still going. Let me provide you with a simple, practical system that even an absolute beginner can implement immediately. Catch the thought. Every single time you feel the insidious urge to quit, to skip a crucial task, or to hesitate on an important decision, pause for a moment. Take a breath and consciously say to yourself, that's not me. That's just my primal brain trying to protect me from discomfort or perceived risk. This single sentence, this act of separation, instantly grants you power over the automatic, fear-driven reaction. Label the lie. Your brain, in its protective but often misguided role, will articulate convincing excuses. It's too late for you. You're far too tired today. You can easily do it tomorrow. You're simply not good enough to succeed. When these thoughts arise, unequivocally respond, that's a lie. That's just fear talking, trying to keep me small. Labeling the lie, consciously identifying it as false, immediately strips it of its oppressive power and diminishes its hold over your actions. Choose the command. Now, you must speak back to your mind with the authority and unwavering resolve of a general issuing orders to their troops. Declare, we do it anyway. We show up. We do not negotiate with weakness. We follow the mission parameters. When you consistently practice this, day in and day out, even if only once, you're not merely building fleeting motivation. You are meticulously forging impenetrable mental armor. You don't win by trying this strategy once. You win by relentlessly repeating it every single day until your mind slowly but surely learns. It learns. He doesn't listen to fear anymore. She doesn't obey laziness anymore. They're not soft anymore. And at that pivotal moment, your brain, realizing its old tactics are futile, stops fighting you and begins, instead, to work for you. Remember this profound truth for the remainder of your life. Your body does not control your day. Your mind does. But your mind doesn't operate purely by immutable truths. It operates by training. So take command. Train it. Own it. Command it. Shape it like malleable clay. Because if you abdicate this responsibility, your mind will inevitably transform you into a slave to your fleeting feelings and capricious emotions. And let this be crystal clear. Winners are never slaves. Mastering your mind is not a mere motivational quote or a fleeting feel-good concept. It is a non-negotiable, fundamental life skill. It is the very first war you must win, the internal battle you must conquer, before you can hope to win anything of true significance in this external world. You desire financial abundance? Master your mind. You seek unwavering discipline? Master your mind. You aspire to fundamentally change your life? Master your mind. No one is coming to do this arduous work for you. But if you embrace this challenge, if you diligently build this mental strength, brick by painstaking brick, there will come a day when people will gaze at you with awe and ask, how are you so incredibly strong? How do you possess such an indomitable will? How do you never quit? How do you consistently accomplish what others only dream of? And you will simply smile because you will know, deep within your core, that you have mastered the only enemy that ever truly mattered, the one residing in your own head. Lesson 2. One life, one chance. Live accordingly. Let's cease the pretense. Shed the comforting illusions. You do not get a second life. There is no magical rewind button for this movie we call existence. This isn't some dress rehearsal, a practice run for a future performance. This is it. Your solitary shot, your singular chance, your one and only precious life. And yet, the overwhelming majority of people, perhaps even you at times, live as though they possess an infinite reservoir of time. They squander entire years scrolling mindlessly through digital feeds. They metaphorically kill months overthinking, paralyzed by indecision. They tragically destroy countless days waiting for a mythical perfect moment that by its very nature never, ever arrives. Why this profound disconnect? Because they have forgotten the deepest, rawest, most undeniable truth of all. You are going to die. And everything you fail to accomplish, every potential you leave untapped, every bold action you defer before that inevitable moment will perish with you, forever lost to the annals of possibility. That business idea you perpetually plan but never initiate, it dies with you. That vibrant, confident, fluent, and powerful version of yourself, the one you perpetually dream of becoming, if you don't take decisive, consistent action, that magnificent version of you will never be born, never truly manifest. That strained relationship you desperately want to mend, that heartfelt apology you never delivered, that audacious risk you never dare to take, all gone forever, swallowed by the sands of time. And that, my friends, is precisely why this lesson is not some empty motivational fluff designed to make you feel good for a moment. This lesson is a profound psychological reset, a stark and vital reorientation of your perspective. Because every single second that slips away is not just time. It is an irreplaceable piece of your one and only life. And once it's gone, once that moment has passed, it never, ever comes back. Princeton University conducted a poignant study, asking elderly individuals what they regretted most in their long lives. Can you guess what the overwhelming number one answer was? It wasn't the things I did. It was almost universally the things I didn't do. Let that profound truth truly sink into your consciousness. It's not your mistakes, your missteps, or your failures that will ultimately haunt you in your twilight years. It is your inaction, your debilitating silence, your perpetual delay, and your paralyzing fear. Because that fundamentally is what regret truly represents. A vast, desolate graveyard of dreams you never dared to act upon, ambitions you never pursued, and potentials you allowed to wither away. So, what is the transformative solution to this existential dilemma? You must awaken every single day with one potent sentence burning like an unquenchable fire in the very core of your brain. I get one life, one chance. I will not waste it. Here's a practical, actionable way to integrate this philosophy. Even if you consider yourself an absolute beginner, even if you're currently overwhelmed with fear, crippling fatigue, or the disheartening belief that it's too late, write your wake-up call. Grab a simple notebook or a blank digital document, and with unflinching honesty, write this sentence at the top. If I died 1 year from today, what would I regret not doing? Now, allow your mind to freely pour out every single thought, every yearning, every suppressed ambition that comes to mind. That YouTube channel you've always envisioned, that dream job you've silently coveted, that book you've always wanted to write, that heartfelt apology you need to make, that difficult conversation you've avoided, that physical transformation you desperately desire, that financial freedom you crave, write it all down. Now, from that raw list, circle the top 3 items that resonate with the most intense sense of regret. And here's the critical distinction. Those 3 items are not merely goals. They're your direct, undeniable life instructions. Use the death line, not the deadline. Deadlines, while useful, primarily serve to push projects or meet external obligations. Winners, however, operate with a more profound sense of urgency. Set a powerful internal timer. Ask yourself, if I only had 6 months left to live, how would I live today? What would I prioritize right now? This isn't about fostering a morbid or dark outlook. It makes you dangerous in the best possible way. It sharpens your focus, incinerates every flimsy excuse, and injects an electrifying surge of urgency into your daily actions. Because genuine urgency is the foundational fuel that builds winners. Reverse every excuse with this sentence. Practice this powerful mental exercise right now. Take any excuse you habitually tell yourself and follow it with 4 brutal words, and then I died. I'll start working out next month, asterisk, and then I died. Asterisk, I want to build something meaningful, but I'm just too busy. Asterisk, and then I died. Asterisk, I want to become fluent in English, but what if I fail and look foolish? Asterisk, and then I died. It sounds utterly brutal because, quite frankly, it is. But that's precisely the kind of visceral, existential pain that jolts people into motion. It's the kind of profound discomfort that catalyzes life-altering change. You don't need more time. You need more urgency. You need to viscerally feel the relentless ticking of the clock, not to instill fear, but to profoundly awaken you to the finite nature of your existence. Because the biggest, most insidious lie propagated in this world is this: you have time. No, you absolutely do not. You have a life, and it is, with every passing second, running out. But if you truly grasp that, if you truly internalize that this is your one and only chance, then every second suddenly becomes sacred. Every single moment transforms into a potent surge of motivation. And that, my friends, is the unwavering mindset of a winner. Lesson 3. Stop thinking, trust the process. This might just be the single most crucial piece of advice you will ever internalize, because the biggest, most insidious killer of dreams and success is not laziness. It is the paralyzing grip of overthinking. And here's the unvarnished truth. Your brain, left unchecked, will frequently lie to you, painting scenarios of doubt and failure. But the process, the consistent, deliberate application of effort, never will. The process is the gritty reality of waking up when every fiber of your being craves sleep. It's the steadfast act of showing up and putting in the work when no one is watching, when no one is applauding your efforts. It's the humbling commitment to practicing a new skill even when you feel utterly stupid or incompetent. It's the relentless repetition of what demonstrably works over and over again until it finally truly works. It's failing, learning from that failure, and then slowly, quietly, daily, incrementally improving. But here is where the vast majority of people consistently go wrong. They demand immediate, tangible results before they commit to consistent repetition. They crave absolute certainty and a guaranteed outcome before they even dare to begin. They expect to feel overflowing with confidence before they even show up and put in the effort. And so, they fall into the trap of overthinking absolutely everything, dissecting every potential scenario, until the initial dream slowly but inevitably dies in the suffocating paralysis of analysis. Your brain, as we discussed, is fundamentally built for one primary purpose: protecting you from pain, both physical and emotional. So, whenever you contemplate trying something new, whether it's diligently learning a new skill, taking a calculated risk in your career, building a nascent business from scratch, or striving to become genuinely fluent in English, your brain immediately goes into overdrive, conjuring up a litany of terrifying what-if scenarios. What if it doesn't work out? What if you publicly fail and embarrass yourself? What will people say about you if you stumble? What if it takes too long and you waste all your time and effort? And if you allow yourself to listen to that insidious, fear-mongering voice, you will inevitably start thinking and thinking and thinking, spiraling deeper into hypothetical scenarios until you become utterly paralyzed. This phenomenon is precisely what scientists refer to as analysis paralysis. It's when your brain, in its misguided attempt to protect you, chooses the mental comfort of inaction and endless deliberation over the uncomfortable, messy, but ultimately essential path of actual progress. Winners, however, do not think like beginners. They don't engage in the futile exercise of asking, "Will this definitely work?" Instead, their internal monologue is profoundly different. If I simply follow the proven process, the process itself will inevitably change me. It may take time. It may often feel mundane and boring. But I place my absolute trust in the grind because the process applied consistently is ultimately undefeated. Even if you feel utterly dumb, even if you fail 99 times out of 100, if you commit to repeating, reviewing, and rebuilding, you will, without question, become unstoppable. Consider LeBron James, unequivocally one of the greatest basketball players of all time. He once famously said, "I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times, I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is precisely why I succeed." Notice something profound here. He didn't succeed because he thought more or analyzed more. He succeeded because he repeated more. He placed his absolute faith in the relentless process of failure, immediate correction, and ultimate mastery. So, instead of fixating on distant results, create a daily ritual. Don't set the overwhelming goal of speaking English perfectly. Instead, simply aim to speak for 10 minutes daily, no matter what. Don't set the daunting goal of finishing an entire book. Instead, commit to reading just 5 pages daily without missing a single day. This is precisely how winners operate. They meticulously focus on consistent inputs, not on immediate outcomes. They track their streak, not their fleeting score. Keep a simple notebook or use an app. And at the end of each day, write just one sentence. I did it today. I followed the process. That's it. You don't need to see dramatic results immediately. You just need to diligently build unstoppable momentum. And when the cumulative results finally do show up, they often manifest suddenly, dramatically, and all at once, as if a dam has broken. When your brain inevitably whispers, "What if it's not working? What if all this effort isn't worth it?" Do not engage in further thinking or analysis. Answer that doubt with decisive action. Just get up. Do 10 push-ups. Speak 3 sentences in English. Review 1 new vocabulary word. Simply show up and do the work. Because motion is the most potent killer of doubt, and consistent movement is what effectively shuts down the debilitating cycle of overthinking. Stop futilely asking, "Is it working? Will I fail? Is this good enough?" Instead, redirect your focus and ask yourself, did I show up today? Did I repeat what works? Did I trust the process? Because when you truly trust the process, when you consistently adhere to its demands, you don't need to see immediate results. You simply know, with an unshakable conviction, that they are inevitably coming. And that, my friends, is the rock-solid mindset of a true winner. Lesson 4. Kill your negativity before it kills you. Let's be uncomfortably, brutally honest with ourselves. The single most dangerous enemy in your life is not some external force or circumstance out there. It is already residing inside you. It's that insidious, whispering voice, a constant, corrosive monologue that relentlessly tells you, "You're not good enough. You never were. You always fail, so why bother trying? You're not as smart or capable as others. You can never truly learn English. It's too hard for you. You don't have what it takes to succeed. No one truly supports you. You're alone in this. What's the actual point of all this effort?" And that voice, that relentless, self-deprecating internal narrative, is slowly, silently, and secretly killing your confidence, eroding your discipline, and suffocating your potential every single day. You could possess more inherent talent than anyone else on earth, but if you do not actively, ruthlessly kill that relentless negativity, you will inevitably become your own greatest, most formidable enemy. Imagine this powerful metaphor. A man once walked past a group of colossal elephants. To his astonishment, he noticed they weren't confined within towering cages or held by thick, heavy chains. Instead, each majestic elephant was simply tethered by a small, unassuming rope tied to its front leg. No cages, no whips, no heavy chains, just a surprisingly delicate rope. Perplexed, he inquired of the trainer, how is it possible that these huge, incredibly powerful animals aren't easily breaking free? The seasoned trainer explained, when they are mere babies, we tie them with this very same rope. At that tender age, it is in fact strong enough to hold them. They try desperately to break free again and again, but they consistently fail. Eventually, after countless attempts, they simply stop trying. And when they grow up, even though they possess immense strength, a power far beyond that rope's capacity, they still believe they can't break it. Now listen to me closely. That is precisely how the vast majority of people live their lives. They are inherently powerful, incredibly capable, brimming with potential, but their own minds, scarred by past failures and reinforced by limiting beliefs, tell them, you can't. So, tragically, they don't even try. That is the destructive, paralyzing power of negative belief. It's not a physical rope. It's an invisible, yet utterly impenetrable, mental prison. What exactly causes this pervasive negativity? Past failures you've never truly healed from or processed. The corrosive words from toxic people who undermined you. Deep-seated trauma you carry unconsciously, like a heavy backpack. The relentless, unfair act of constantly comparing yourself to others. The insidious trap of perfectionism, which always makes you feel not enough. The debilitating habit of overthinking, perpetually imagining the worst-case scenario. Here's the liberating truth. You are not inherently a failure. You are not intrinsically lazy. You are not fundamentally broken. You have simply been trained by circumstances, by others, by your own mind, to believe that you are. But now, the time has come to definitively break that belief, to shatter it like that flimsy rope around an elephant's mighty leg. Here are the actionable solutions. Name the negative voice. You need to consciously separate yourself from that internal, critical voice. Start saying, "That's not me talking. That's just a negative program, an old mental tape running in my mind." When your mind says, "You'll definitely fail again," you immediately counter, "That's the voice of my past failure speaking, not my present truth. That's not who I am now." Label it. Detach from it. See it for what it is, a separate, unhelpful entity. Rewrite the script. Every single time a negative thought infiltrates your mind, immediately write down its direct opposite truth. This isn't wishful thinking. It's a deliberate act of mental rewiring. Negative thought asterisk, "I'm not smart enough." Rewrite it as asterisk, "I am actively learning and growing every single day." Negative thought asterisk, "I always fail when I try new things." Rewrite it as asterisk, "I am still improving and I am not done yet. Every attempt is progress." Negative thought asterisk, "Nobody truly supports my dreams." Rewrite it as asterisk, "I support myself. I'm my own strongest team." Negative thought asterisk, "It's too late for me to change or succeed." Rewrite it as asterisk, "Now is always the best, most opportune time to begin." This powerful technique is called cognitive rewriting, and it is scientifically proven by psychology to literally rewire the neural pathways in your brain, strengthening positive connections. Flood your mind with better input. You cannot effectively kill negativity by simply trying to delete it. You must actively replace it. How? Dedicate time to watch one powerful, inspiring video daily, much like this one. Read 10 minutes of a truly empowering and insightful book every single morning. Before you go to bed each night, consciously articulate 3 new, powerful truths about yourself or your capabilities out loud. Most crucially, speak to yourself with the kindness, encouragement, and belief that you would offer to someone you deeply love, not with the harsh judgment you reserve for someone you hate. Your brain is an incredibly powerful sponge. Feed it truth, not trash. Your brain is analogous to your body. If you consistently consume garbage food, your physical body will inevitably break down. Similarly, if you feed your brain garbage thoughts and self-limiting beliefs, your future will break down. Winners meticulously consume truth. Losers passively consume lies. So, commit to killing your negativity, not just once, but every single day with the same diligent consistency you apply to brushing your teeth. Because every single time you kill one negative thought, you are actively rescuing your future from a false, self-imposed enemy. Lesson 5. The only limit is yourself. Let's establish something with absolute clarity. The single, solitary thing standing between the extraordinary life you deeply dream of and the current life you are presently living is you. It is not the government. It is not your family's influence. It is not your geographical location. It is not your age, your background, or the balance in your bank account. It is fundamentally your mindset. It is your daily habits. It is the depth of your self-belief. And it is the sum total of the decisions you make, or fail to make every single day. You are unequivocally the limit. And by profound extension, you're also the absolute freedom. Groundbreaking studies in neuroscience vividly demonstrate that our beliefs, particularly our self-beliefs, form a tangible, invisible ceiling in the brain, dictating what we perceive as possible. When you truly believe, "I'm not smart enough," your brain ceases to actively seek out and process new learning opportunities. When you internally declare, "I can't change who I am," your brain literally refrains from building the crucial new neural pathways required for growth and transformation. When you resign yourself to, "I'll never be truly fluent in English," your brain stops efficiently retaining new vocabulary and grammatical structures. When you tell yourself, "I'm not like them, those successful people," your effort drops precipitously, and you inevitably, tragically, prove yourself right. This destructive cycle is precisely what's known as the self-limiting identity loop. Your mind, governed by these beliefs, constructs an invisible wall of impossibility, and then, without conscious awareness, your behavior dutifully obeys the dictates of that self-imposed wall. But here's what true winners intimately understand. That wall isn't real. It was meticulously constructed, brick by fear. And fear, at its core, is nothing more than imagination devoid of decisive action. For decades, no human being on record had ever managed to run a mile in under 4 minutes. Doctors and physiologists confidently declared it to be physically impossible, asserting that the human body would simply break down under such extreme stress. Scientists presented elaborate theories, claiming it was a fundamental limit set by nature itself. People universally believed it to be an unbreakable barrier. But then, in 1954, one extraordinary man, Roger Bannister, stepped onto the track and, against all medical and scientific wisdom, ran a mile in an astonishing 3 minutes and 59. For seconds, he didn't just break a world record, he shattered the mental limit of the entire world. And guess what happened next? Within a single year, a staggering 24 other individuals also ran sub-4-minute miles. The physical limit of human capability hadn't changed. The collective belief in that limit had been irrevocably altered. Now, pause and ask yourself, what if your perceived limits aren't real either? What if they're just illusions, waiting to be shattered? Here's a practical exercise. Write your "I can't" list. Grab a pen and paper and, with brutal honesty, write down 10 things you currently say, either out loud or silently to yourself. "I can't do this. I'm not good at this particular skill. I've never been able to achieve X." Now, beside each of those statements, write these 3 challenging questions. Says who? Is that an immutable rule, or is it just my fear talking? What if I could? As you engage in this introspective exercise, you'll swiftly realize that 90% of your perceived limitations are not hard, objective facts. They are merely unchallenged fears, cleverly disguised as reality. Take micro actions against the limit. You don't break down a colossal wall by trying to run through it head-on. You break it down by systematically proving it wrong, one small brick at a time. If your self-imposed limit is, "I can't speak English fluently," then commit to speaking just 1 sentence per day out loud to yourself. If your limit is, "I can't focus for more than a few minutes," then commit to doing just 5 minutes of concentrated work without any distractions and meticulously track that streak. Each micro-action is a tiny chisel chip that weakens the wall of your self-doubt. Surround yourself with evidence. Actively seek out and immerse yourself in the stories and experiences of people who defied the odds. Watch videos of individuals who started broke, battled depression, were significantly overweight, felt utterly lost, and yet, through sheer will and consistent action, still made it. Every single time you witness someone triumph over adversity, tell yourself, with unwavering conviction, if they can do it, why not me? Because here's the profound truth. You are not stuck. You're not trapped by fate. You're not cursed by circumstance. You're simply not moving yet. And the only thing that possesses the power to fix that inertia is you. Your life is not limited by your parents' expectations, your past mistakes, or your current problems. Your life is fundamentally limited by the mental prison you have, perhaps unconsciously, chosen to accept. But today, right now, in this very moment, you have the profound power to choose something radically different. You can declare, with unwavering resolve, I'm done accepting this limited version of me. I'm done letting fear dictate who I become. I'm done being my own limit. Because the precise moment you decisively kill the insidious lie that says, I can't, you simultaneously awaken the dormant, powerful version of you that knows, deep in its core, that it can do anything. And that version, my friend, is a true winner. Lesson 6. No help, no problem. Let me articulate something that most people are simply too afraid or too uncomfortable to say out loud. But it is a truth that liberates. No one is truly coming to help you. Not your family, not your closest friends, not your past experiences, not some stroke of luck, and certainly not some divine intervention. Unless, that is, you make the first decisive move. And this, believe it or not, is not a curse. It is your single greatest, most empowering force. This lesson is the absolute core truth embedded within a winner's life. You must learn to win with zero external support, zero applause, zero encouragement, and zero assistance. If you fail to internalize this, you will remain perpetually stuck, forever waiting for someone else to push you forward, to notice your efforts, or to miraculously save you from your circumstances. But real winners? They don't wait to be saved. They possess the formidable inner fortitude to save themselves. Perhaps you grew up in a home where no one ever taught you the foundational tenets of confidence. Maybe no one ever genuinely supported your audacious dreams. Perhaps every time you dared to try something new, someone laughed, or you were dismissed with the condescending advice, be realistic. You're not special. Maybe right now, you find yourself alone in your room, diligently striving to improve yourself, and yet, no one in your immediate circle believes in your efforts. You're passionately learning English or courageously trying to launch a business, and it feels as though nobody truly cares. You feel utterly invisible. Listen to me very carefully. That profound pain you are currently carrying, that suffocating silence you are forced to live in, that is not a weakness. That is, in fact, the fertile birthplace of champions. The individuals who grow up without the luxury of external help or constant validation are precisely the ones who learn, out of necessity, to become their own unyielding source of fire, their own internal wellspring of motivation and drive. Consider the powerful example of David Goggins, formerly known as Mason. He endured a childhood scarred by abuse. He struggled with being overweight, was financially broke, battled severe depression, and felt profoundly alone. By all conventional measures, he had every conceivable reason to quit, and absolutely no one was offering him a lifeline. But one day, he stared into the mirror and, with a raw, visceral honesty, declared, "Nobody's coming. If I want to change, if I want a different life, I'll have to become someone I've never been before." He didn't wait. He took action. He embarked on an astonishing journey, losing over 100 pounds, becoming an elite Navy SEAL, and completing unimaginable feats like 100-mile ultramarathons. He painstakingly rewired his own brain through immense pain, relentless repetition, and deliberate, powerful self-talk. No external help, no cheering crowd, no comforting backup plan. And now, he is widely regarded as one of the toughest, most mentally resilient men on Earth, precisely because he mastered the most powerful skill any human can acquire: becoming your own undeniable hero. Here's the practical, transformative solution. Stop waiting for external validation. Cease the detrimental habit of constantly looking at your phone, hoping for a good job, keep going, or I believe in you from others. Because, let's be realistic, 99% of the time, they won't say it. Their lives are their own. So, from this moment forward, every single time you complete a habit, achieve a small win, or fulfill a commitment to yourself, say this out loud, with conviction: I noticed. I'm proud of me. That seemingly simple declaration holds a profound power, acting as the fundamental building block for internal reward systems. It's a deliberate, conscious act of self-acknowledgement that begins to re-engineer your brain, teaching it to generate its own validation. This foundational practice trains your mind to access a wellspring of power that requires no external permission, no nod from the outside world. Instead of operating from a place of chronic self-criticism, where your inner monologue often sounds like a relentless drill sergeant or, worse, an enemy, you must learn to speak to yourself like a trusted, encouraging coach. Most individuals unwittingly subject themselves to a brutal inner monologue, a constant barrage of negative reinforcement. You're so lazy. You're falling behind. You're utterly useless. Stop. Immediately. This corrosive internal dialogue must cease. Winners, those who ascend to their highest potential, cultivate a different narrative. Their inner voice isn't one of harsh judgment, but of unwavering belief and strategic encouragement. We're not there yet, but we are absolutely going. One more step. Just one more. We don't need the external noise. We have our focus. Let's build quietly. This leads directly to the creation of a profound ritual, the ritual of silence. Every single day, carve out 15 minutes for complete, undisturbed silence. This isn't just about quietude. It's about intentional disconnection. No phone, no music, no podcasts, no digital chatter, no external distractions whatsoever. Just sit, breathe, and most importantly, listen. Listen to the subtle whispers of your own inner voice. That voice you've habitually ignored, silenced by the ceaseless clamor of the modern world, is the authentic you, striving desperately to awaken. It is the undeniable presence of the winner within you, patiently waiting to be heard, acknowledged, and finally, unleashed. You don't need external aid to unlock your inherent power. What you truly need is clarity, a crystal clear understanding of your internal landscape, and the consistent practice of these transformative rituals. You need to meticulously cultivate the kind of identity that can confidently declare, I don't need the world to believe in me because I've already decided. I believe in me. And when you fully embody this unwavering self-belief, the absence of external support ceases to be an obstacle and transforms into an irrelevant detail. Why? Because true winners don't passively wait for salvation. They become their own formidable rescue team. Lesson 7. The compound effect. Everything, absolutely everything, counts. This lesson isn't merely an insight. It's a profound paradigm shift that will fundamentally alter how you perceive and interact with your entire life. The vast majority of people do not fail due to a single catastrophic misstep, but rather from an accumulation of 1,000 tiny, seemingly insignificant choices they mistakenly believed didn't matter. The food you choose to consume today, the precise words you utter or don't utter, Today, the habit you either diligently perform or carelessly neglect today, all of it counts. Every single minuscule action or inaction adds up. Every choice compounds. And this truth, while undeniably scary in its implications, is simultaneously the most potent force you can harness. What precisely is the compound effect? It is the immutable law of exponential change, meticulously woven through the fabric of small, consistent daily actions. Read just 10 pages a day, and within a year, you've devoured 12 full-length books. Imagine the accumulated knowledge. Speak 5 minutes of English daily, and in 12 months, you could be fluently conversing, opening up new worlds of opportunity. Eat an extra 200 calories per day, and without even noticing, you'll find yourself 20 pounds heavier in a year, facing an uphill battle. Scroll through social media for only 30 minutes a day, and over a year, you've squandered a staggering 182 hours. That's 5 entire, non-recoverable days of your precious life gone. Winners are acutely aware of this profound truth. They understand that small things possess an inherent inability to remain small. They inevitably grow. They multiply. They morph into forces that become either unstoppable engines of progress or uncontrollable vectors of destruction. Consider Warren Buffett, consistently ranked among the wealthiest individuals on the planet. A staggering 90% of his immense fortune was not accumulated through speculative gambling or risky shortcuts, but painstakingly built after the age of 50 through the relentless, quiet power of compound interest, patiently allowing his investments to grow slowly, then to explode exponentially over time. He famously articulated this principle. Someone is sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree long ago. This isn't merely an axiom about financial wealth. It is a universal law that applies with equal, if not greater, intensity to your habits, your words, and your thoughts. Diligently plant the right seeds, day after day, and one day, you will find yourself comfortably nestled in a life that others can only idly fantasize about. To begin harnessing this power, pick one small habit that subtly intimidates you. Not something overwhelmingly ambitious, but something you can commit to with unwavering consistency. Examples. Speak 3 complete sentences in English every single morning. No excuses, no matter what. Walk for 15 minutes immediately after lunch. Every day without fail. Wake up at the exact same time, 7 days a week. Every single day, write one powerful, reflective thought in a journal. Every night before bed. Track this chosen habit for 90 days. During this period, intentionally divert your focus from the immediate results. Instead, concentrate solely on the unbroken streak. Put a bold X on a physical calendar for each successful day. Create a tangible checklist. Utilize a prominent whiteboard. The act of visually seeing your progress, witnessing that unbroken chain, is not just satisfying. It generates powerful momentum, and momentum, in turn, is the undeniable catalyst for profound transformation. Protect this nascent habit with the vigilance you would afford a delicate baby tree. Do not skip. Do not rationalize by saying, it's just one day, because it is never just one day. It is your evolving identity, your future self, that is at stake. Every single time you diligently perform the habit, you cast a powerful vote for the new, improved version of yourself you aspire to become. Conversely, every time you skip it, you cast an equally potent vote for your old, stagnant self. And very quickly, the cumulative weight of your votes will irrevocably shape your life. Here's a powerful thought to engrave into your mind. You do not become successful in one grand, sweeping gesture. You become successful one deliberate decision at a time, often in the quiet solitude when no one else is watching. Winners are not merely lucky. They are, at their core, compound creatures. They instinctively understand that every single repetition, every incremental step, every concentrated minute accumulates. And over time, what initially appear to be nothing at all, slowly but surely, evolves into an unstoppable force. Your habits are your future, cleverly disguised. Your tiny, consistent daily actions are the potent seeds of your destiny. And every day you choose to water them, you draw one step closer to forging a life that absolutely no one can ever take from you. So, from this very day forward, consciously affirm to yourself, everything I do counts. Every moment matters. Every choice I make builds the future. Because this, unequivocally, is the compound mindset of winners. Lesson 8. Risk or regret. There is no middle. Let me pose a question, one that most people instinctively recoil from and actively avoid confronting. What will you ultimately regret more? Taking the audacious risk and potentially failing spectacularly, or never taking the risk at all, leaving you forever haunted by the tormenting question of what could have been? If your immediate, honest answer is, I don't know, then you're already unconsciously treading the perilous road that leads directly to regret. In life, there are only two fundamental paths available to you. Two distinct trajectories your existence can follow. Take the risk *. This path embodies growth, embraces failure as a teacher, necessitates rising again, demands learning from mistakes, and insists on repeating the cycle with renewed vigor. Avoid the risk *. This path leads to a slow, comfortable rot, a stagnant existence shrouded in excuses, false safety, and the perpetual, elusive promise of someday. That is it. There's no mystical third road, no comfortable bypass. And the most terrifying aspect of the second path is its deceptive beginning. It appears peaceful, safe, and utterly devoid of immediate danger. But its inevitable, chilling conclusion is a quiet, suffocating death of potential and spirit. Consider the invaluable insights from Bronnie Ware, a compassionate palliative care nurse who spent years ministering to individuals in their final, twilight days. She posed one profound question to them. What do you regret the most in your life? And do you know the resounding, number one answer she received, time and time again? I wish I had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. They did not lament their failures. They did not mourn trying and losing. They expressed profound regret for not even trying at all. That is the insidious, agonizing transformation that untaken risks inevitably undergo. They become permanent, festering wounds on the soul. People sidestep risks for a myriad of reasons, each rooted in a subtle fear. They are afraid of appearing foolish. They convince themselves they aren't ready yet. They crave explicit permission from an external authority. They overthink every conceivable scenario to the point of paralysis. They secretly harbor the belief that they aren't good enough, or they endlessly wait for a mythical perfect moment that, by its very nature, never materializes. But here is the unvarnished truth. Winners are not inherently fearless. They simply possess a more profound, visceral fear of regret than they do of failure. Solutions for embracing risk * first. You must actively imagine the pain of inaction, not just the potential pain of action. Let's say you desperately want to speak English in public, but you're paralyzed by apprehension. Your mind immediately conjures up terrifying scenarios. What if I mess up? What if people laugh at me? Now consciously flip that script. Force yourself to ask, what if I don't speak today? What if I remain silent again? What if I let this crucial chance slip away forever? What will that chronic inaction truly cost me over the next 5 years of my life? This profound shift in perspective, focusing on the inevitable, accumulating cost of inaction, generates a powerful, visceral sense of urgency. That is precisely when people are compelled to move, to act. Next, establish a no-matter-what risk ritual. Choose one small, manageable risk every single day and commit to taking it. Speak one sentence out loud in a public setting. Send that intimidating email you've been drafting for weeks. Finally, launch that business page you've envisioned. Post that video you've been editing. Ask that difficult but necessary question. Join that class you've been procrastinating on. And then, with conviction, tell yourself, this is my risk today. No matter how I feel, I do it. These daily, small acts of courage accumulate, building massive self-trust and igniting a profound identity transformation. Crucially, make failure your fuel, not your fear. Winners possess an extraordinary ability to metabolize failure, transforming it into potent energy. Their internal dialogue after a setback is fundamentally different. That didn't work. Okay, what precisely did I learn from it? Now I definitively know what not to do next time. I have failed more times than others have even dared to try. And that precisely is why I will ultimately win. Failure is not the antithesis of success. It is, in reality, the essential bridge that connects you to it. Risk is a temporary, transient pain. Regret, however, is an eternal, corroding ache. You will, in time, forget the countless instances you tried and stumbled, but you will never forget the soul-crushing moment you allowed fear to emerge victorious. So, from this moment onward, choose the risk. Make the audacious call. Send the definitive message. Show up boldly and authentically. Launch that project. Speak your truth. Ask for what you desire. Because at the terminal point of your life, the only questions that will truly matter are, did I try? Did I live a life authentically true to myself? Did I fully utilize the unique fire that burned within me? Or did I allow it to quietly, tragically extinguish? Winners choose risk. Losers choose regret. And in the final accounting, only one of them will ever experience genuine peace. Lesson 9. Be a monster. Yes, you heard me correctly. Let's delve into something profoundly real and unapologetically raw. Something rarely discussed openly, yet something every true winner intuitively understands and embodies. To not only survive, but to truly thrive in this brutal, competitive world, to fiercely protect your cherished dreams, and to meticulously construct the life you unequivocally desire, you cannot solely rely on kindness. You cannot afford to be perpetually soft. You must cultivate and harness the dormant power of a monster within you and, critically, learn how to control it. Now pause. Before any confusion sets in, allow me to clarify precisely what I mean. This is not an exhortation to become evil. It does not imply inflicting harm upon others. It is not a call for arrogance. It means something far more strategic and internal. It means becoming an individual who is mentally dangerous to your own limiting, old excuses. Someone who is too powerful to be manipulated by external forces. Too relentlessly focused to be distracted by superficialities. Too intensely obsessed with your vision to be stopped by anything. Too profoundly resilient to be broken by adversity. Too rigorously disciplined to succumb to laziness. It means systematically building an inner beast, a formidable force that unfailingly shows up, fully activated, when life's inevitable challenges attempt to crush your spirit. It means having an unyielding, burning fire in your eyes when the world chooses to meet your efforts with deafening silence or outright dismissal. In the intricate landscape of psychology, there exists a concept known as the shadow self. This concept posits that within every human being resides a soft, compassionate side, a strong, capable side, and also a deep, dark, intensely focused, driven, almost primal beast mode side. The tragedy is that most people diligently ignore, suppress, or actively deny this vital part of themselves. They operate under a rigid set of self-imposed rules. I should always be polite. I shouldn't fight back. I should never get angry. I should always remain humble. But here's the stark reality. Winners are kind, yet they are never weak. They are humble, but they are absolutely never harmless. They meticulously train and cultivate their inner monster, ensuring that when the moment of truth arrives, when their dreams are on the line, they can unleash it and go all in, all day, with an unwavering, almost merciless dedication to their goals. Cultivating your inner monster * begin by creating your alter ego. Give this powerful inner self a name. It could be anything that resonates with raw power and unwavering resolve. The Terminator, Iron Discipline, Mamba Mindset, the Machine, No Excuses, Ice Focus. Every time you feel the insidious urge to give up, to concede defeat, consciously shift your internal narrative. I'm not showing up as me today. I'm showing up as your alter ego's name. And that version of me never loses. This potent psychological technique is called identity flipping, and it works with astonishing effectiveness. Next, build your beast rituals. Winners instinctively adopt and rigorously adhere to rituals that awaken this inner monster. Cold showers, a daily shock to the system. 5 a.m. wake-ups, conquering the day before it even begins. Brutal, uncompromising workouts that push physical and mental limits. Reading 10 pages, no matter what, every single day. Speaking English even when fear gnaws at them. Working diligently when others are comfortably resting. Practicing relentlessly when no one is watching. Each of these rituals sends a clear, unequivocal message to your brain. This is not soft time. This is beast time. Finally, learn to unleash, then control. Your inner monster is emphatically not intended to destroy others. Its singular purpose is to fiercely protect your dream, your vision, your future. So, do not allow its raw power to transmute into destructive hate. Instead, channel it, transform it into an unshakable, unyielding consistency. Deploy it strategically when you feel weak, when fear paralyzes you, when the urge to quit becomes overwhelming, when people mock or laugh at your aspirations, when you feel invisible and unheard, when exhaustion sets in, when self-doubt creeps in, when you feel broken. That is precisely when a monster within roars to life and declares, "Now it's my turn. Let me take over." Understand this fundamental truth. The world is not soft. Your path to greatness will not be easy, nor will it be paved for you. Your dream will absolutely not be protected by others. So build the beast. Be kind, yes, but never ever be passive. Be soft in spirit, perhaps, but meticulously train the savage within. Because one day, life will test you, pushing you to your absolute limits. And when it does, you will not run. You will not break. You will not cry. You will engage full monster mode. And you will make the world remember, with terrifying clarity, exactly who you are. That precisely is the indomitable mentality of winners. Lesson 10. It's now or never. There is no later. Let us decisively kill the most pervasive, soul-crushing excuse in human history. I'll do it later. Later. That single word, later, is perhaps the most insidious, dangerous lie ever conceived by the human mind. because later inexorably morphs into never, and never, in its final, agonizing form, solidifies into a regret so overwhelmingly heavy that it will utterly crush your soul. Do you truly believe you have an infinite supply of time? Let me shatter that illusion right now. That profound dream you've been perpetually postponing? Someday, you will simply be too weary, too drained, to ever chase it with a necessary fervor. That idealized version of yourself you keep endlessly imagining? Someday, your mind will be too fractured, too disillusioned to ever truly become it. That person you ache to say, "I love you" to? Someday, they will simply be gone. The brutal, unvarnished truth is this. Every single second you idly waste is a second you will never, under any circumstances, get back. Consider the legendary Steve Jobs, the visionary co-founder of Apple. He maintained a rigorous daily ritual. Every morning, he would gaze into the mirror and ask himself one penetrating question. If today was the last day of my life, would I still do what I'm about to do? If his answer was no for too many consecutive days, he didn't hesitate. He immediately instigated a radical change. He did not passively wait for external permission. He did not passively wait for an elusive burst of motivation. He did not wait for the world to magically understand his vision. He acted immediately and with absolute conviction. Now, I urge you to employ the one-year death test. Imagine, with terrifying clarity, that you receive an official letter informing you that you have precisely 1 year left to live. No extensions, no exceptions, no bargaining. Now, with that chilling reality firmly in mind, ask yourself, who would I instantly become? What would I immediately stop tolerating in my life and from others? What would I definitively start doing today, right now? Who would I cut off from my life, forgive, call, or confront? What would suddenly, undeniably matter the most? Write all down. Do not wait for that hypothetical letter. Live from that profound truth now. Set fire to someday. Take out your notebook, flip to a clean, crisp page. At the very top, in bold, uncompromising letters, write these 3 sentences. Someday is not a day of the week. Later is the language of the lost. My time is not infinite. My chance is now. Then, immediately create a now or never list. Write down 5 significant things you've been endlessly delaying. Now choose just one. Pick the single most compelling item and do something, however infinitesimally small, about it today. That very first, decisive move will shatter the paralyzing spell of procrastination. Furthermore, schedule your dreams, not merely your duties. Do not solely fill your calendar with an endless litany of meetings, tasks, and mundane to-do lists. Intentionally, consciously, fill it with you. Allocate dedicated time to work on your dream. Time to speak, to practice, to build, to write, to rehearse, to repeat. If it is not explicitly on your calendar, meticulously scheduled, then it is not truly in your life. So, make time for the life you envision, the life you passionately desire. Or else, forever lose the life you could have had. You're not behind. You're not too late. You're not too broken to begin anew. But you are unequivocally on the precipice of a profound truth that you can no longer afford to ignore. This is your time. This is your moment. This is your now. And if you fail to act decisively now, you may never, ever get this chance again. Because life doesn't patiently wait. And success does not simply fall into the laps of the patient. It relentlessly pursues the bold. This is your now. Seize it, or lose it forever. That, ultimately, is the uncompromising choice every winner must confront and make. Lesson 11. Believe it's already yours. Live like you've already won. This final lesson transcends mere action. It delves deep into the realm of energy, intention, and unwavering self-belief. The sobering truth is that most people don't lose in life because they failed to act or because their efforts were insufficient. They lose, fundamentally, because they never truly, unequivocally believe they could actually win. They walk into every opportunity already steeped in doubt, already thinking this probably won't work, already feeling like an imposter, an outsider looking in. And guess what? Life, with astonishing fidelity, mirrors your core belief system. The world, in essence, treats you precisely how you treat yourself, how you perceive your own worth and capability. So if you don't believe deep in your bones that it's already yours, it never, ever will be. Muhammad Ali, the unparalleled greatest, didn't meekly proclaim, "I hope I become champion someday." His powerful, audacious declaration was, "I am the greatest. I said it before I knew I was." He walked like a champion, exuded the aura of a champion, talked like a champion, trained with the relentless discipline of a champion, and fought with the unyielding spirit of a champion. Long before the world saw his undeniable greatness, he believed it with every fiber of his being. And that ultimately is why the world had no choice but to believe it too. Your brain possesses an incredibly potent mechanism called the self-confirmation loop. This means that what you profoundly believe becomes how you intimately feel. How you feel, in turn, dictates how you ultimately act. How you act, then, meticulously creates your results. And your results, finally, reinforce and solidify your initial belief. This is the precise reason why individuals who fundamentally believe their failures will, often subconsciously, behave in ways that confirm that belief. And conversely, individuals who hold the unshakable conviction that they are unstoppable will, with uncanny predictability, become precisely that, unstoppable. Therefore, the single most important thing you will ever utter is not addressed to the world at large. It is addressed, with unwavering conviction, to yourself. This life I want is already mine. I just have to claim it. Actionable steps for cultivating unwavering belief asterisk every single morning. Engage in a powerful, transformative ritual. Write one full page, clearly titled, "This is who I am." Do this even if it initially feels contrived, even if the reality you describe seems impossibly distant. These are not mere wishes. They are declarations of your evolving identity. Examples: I am a focused machine. I speak fluent English confidently and effortlessly. I control my emotions. They do not control me. I make abundant money doing what I absolutely love. I attract discipline, greatness, and profound clarity into my life. This is your identity programming. Consistently feeding these truths to your subconscious mind will cause your brain to begin aligning your thoughts, feelings, and actions with this new, declared reality. Furthermore, walk like it's already yours. Cease to walk through life like someone who is merely trying, someone desperately hoping. Instead, move with the confident stride of someone who has already arrived, someone who has already claimed their victory. This means standing tall with impeccable posture, making decisions with unapologetic power and conviction, showing up early consistently, speaking slowly, deliberately, and with authority, maintaining direct, unwavering eye contact, dressing in a manner that unequivocally communicates self-respect and self-worth. Your body is the very first message you send to your mind, and indeed, to the world. Move as if you already undeniably own the room, own the moment, own your destiny. And every single time doubt begins to rear its ugly head, deploy this powerful sentence as a mantra. This life is already mine. I'm just catching up to it. Say it again, and again, and again. Repeat it until it permeates your very bloodstream, becoming an intrinsic part of your being. The world will not initially believe in you. It is patiently waiting for you to believe truly, waiting for you to show up, fully embodying the presence of a winner, waiting for you to walk in like it's already undeniably yours. So, shed the role of the outsider. Stop apologizing for your inherent greatness. Abandon the passive act of hoping. Instead, decisively claim it. It's already mine. The life, the power, the fluency, the success. I'm not asking. I'm claiming it. Do not, for a single moment, wait for permission to be great. Live, right now, as if you already are. Because belief is not the final destination of the journey. It is, in fact, the electrifying ignition, the very beginning of the winner's ascent. Let me impart one final truth before this message concludes. The vast majority of people will never, ever do what you are about to do. They will consume videos, absorb powerful words like these, feel a fleeting surge of inspiration, perhaps even utter, "That was truly powerful," and then, with predictable certainty, they will revert to their old, comfortable lives. Same habits, same tired excuses, same stifling silence. But not you. Because if you have persevered and made it this far, if you're still reading, it means something profound and undeniable is stirring deep within your soul. Something is awakening. Something that vehemently refuses to die in silence. Something that defiantly refuses to settle for average. Something that resolutely refuses to compromise its true potential. And I implore you to remember this, to burn it into the deepest recesses of your mind. Your life is not a punishment. It is, in fact, a weapon. And you have just been handed the precise code to unlock its devastating power. You don't need more time. You don't need more external approval. You don't need another surge of fleeting motivation. You just need to decide. From this precise moment forward, decide. I become everything I was too scared to be. No more waiting. No more hiding. No more apologizing for my inherent greatness. No more passively hoping someone will come and save me. Because you are no longer the victim. You are no longer merely the student. You are no longer the lost, wandering version of yourself. You are the one now, the one who fearlessly rises, the one who absorbs the brutal hit and keeps walking forward, unbroken, the one who builds the impossible, forging it from silence, from pain, from absolutely nothing. You are the storm. You are the monster. You are the winner. And now, you possess the refined mind, armed with these lessons to irrevocably prove it. So, I leave you with this ultimate, undeniable truth. No more later. No more limits. No more little life. This is your time. This is your war. This is your destiny. And just like that, the loser dies. The winner is born. See you at the top. If this profound message shook something deep within your spirit, if it compelled you to pause, to breathe deeply, to truly think, and to declare, "This is exactly what I needed," then do not, under any circumstances, allow this to be the end. Subscribe now, not just to a channel, but to a life where you are finally, unequivocally becoming the magnificent individual you were born to be. Because on this channel, we don't merely dabble in motivation. We meticulously build warriors. We relentlessly train winners. We systematically reprogram minds to never, ever settle for average again. So, if you're truly ready to keep growing, to keep learning, to keep transforming, then hit that subscribe button and let the world finally meet the real you.